come outside and brave the weather. Not only because I need to harvest some things, but because I wanted to show you guys what the drought is doing to my garden here in Georgia. Now, mind you, we've had rain almost every other day, but look at my sweet potato plants. They look parched, they look a little yellow, so I may actually be out here watering. I put my onions out here. It doesn't look like I made it. My basil is looking rough. My snap beans are looking rough. The only happy is this watermelon patch over here. And I've got some peppers that I need to harvest. Do you see these beautiful red peppers? So I'm probably going to be, after I harvest, I'm going to be covering the rest of these veggies with some sort of shade cloth, because we are scheduled to be up to 95, and then as the week progresses we're going to go into 97. And yeah, gardens don't like that kind of heat. So all right, let's see. Look at these peppers. Ooh, I'm so happy about this. I'm out here like Peter Piper. I hope everybody knows what I'm talking about. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? Anyway, you want to try to get that, if you can say that fast. We used to do that as kids. I know that sounds super old. I don't care. All right, let's see here. Oh, I gotta pepper it down. That one's not good. As you can see, some rodents or something has gotten to it. We're gonna chuck that. I might leave this one on the vine a bit longer. I see a few under here. So there's a bunch of peppers in here. I think I'm gonna wait till these get red. We have a lot of green in the refrigerator, but these sweet reds, oh my goodness. Oh, this is, okay, here we go. Good Lord. I'm wearing this gadget on my chest. I need to just go ahead and get like a GoPro or something, because this one tends to wobble a bit. But contrary to popular belief, peppers don't like just blazing sun all the time. They need a little shade. And I have them planted next to the shed so that they can get that. So they're not in the constant sun, are southern facing. So it's pretty hot out here right now. Harvest, and to show you guys, that what havoc is being wreaked by this Georgia heat and sun. I don't know what part of the country you're on and what you're experiencing. Any gardeners out there? Are you going through a heat wave as bad as we are here? So, in one of my harvest videos, I harvested a lot of these jalapenos. They're getting ready to do their second wave. As you can see, there's some flowers on here. Okay. That means they're about to start up again. So I'm going to get some more peppers to can and use. Throw in the freezer. So, whew, I don't want this to be a long video because like I said, it's hot. It is seriously hot. I'm going to come over here to where this celeriac is. You guys, celeriac is warm loving, but only to a degree. And 90 something is well past them. So they've been doing well up until this point. But as you can see, it's a bit off. So I think might be time to go ahead and pull them. As you can see, some of them are big. Let's see. How about this one right here? See that? Nice. Let's harvest this one. Woo! So I may have to cut. It's a bit heavy. Let's cut all around there. As ants get in these things, but just knock them out. These store very well. They're looking so bad just because it's so hot. Now, what did I do with my knife? Okay, here we go. Okay, some celeriac. I really like to leave roots in the dirt because it nourishes the soil. Feed those microbes and get it ready for the next planting. It's almost your own compost without having to add compost by leaving roots in the dirt. So there's a nice celeriac. And you guys, I have all of these. Let me move to the other side. I have all of these dragon beans over here. But go ahead and pick them. Beautiful beans. So they're these lovely purple and white beans, but when you cook them, they just turn green. So I'm like, well, why? Isn't the novelty to have like these beautiful beans? Like, look at this. Wouldn't you want to serve that? It's colorful. It's a beautiful color. But yes, no, they just turn green. So I've kind of been planting them. Hubby wasn't down for them all that much. So I've kind of been planting them. Mina, y'all, look at Mina. My baby, my rescue dog, she at some point has been on the street. She's had some food insecurity. And she just forages. She constantly is looking for food, even when she's been fed. So I have to watch her because she'll eat all kinds of things. So when she sees me in the garden, she kind of knows I might slide her a tomato or something. But, so I'm going to pick a few of these beans. Now, mind you, they are tasty. They're just flat beans. You know, you would just cook them up as you would any kind of flat bean. But I just plant them, let them put that nitrogen in the soil, and I mean, hey, try them. I always say try something new. I try to plant something in my garden new every single season because you never know what you like until you get it. And I've learned so much by being on YouTube about, oh goodness, I've learned so much. I should be trying to talk and pull stuff at the same time, but I've learned so much about different vegetables, especially that can grow in Georgia, zone 8A, 8B, and deal with this heat. And I've learned that from just watching gardeners on YouTube and learning things from people in different countries even. I don't know if you guys know about Charles Dowding, but he's an amazing no-dig farmer. And thank you, PC. Hello. He's an amazing no-dig gardener, and I kind of learned no-dig by watching his videos. So, all right, there's another celeriac. And honestly, I think I need to get this bed ready for the next round of planting, which may not be for a while until, you know, I've got seedlings started, but I don't think I'm going to be doing anything until we get out of this heat wave, which hopefully will break at the end of August. Now here's a smaller one. Just cut along the bottom. Now, if you don't know about celeriac, it's just celery root, and you have to cut all of this fibrous material off, and you can add it to mashed potatoes. You can roast it. I don't know if I would eat it raw, but I use the leaves even. If you check out my video on making your own celery salt, when you remove the leaves from the outer edges as it's starting to grow, just dry these out, pound them up with some seasoning, put them in a pestle, mortar and pestle, and then you'll have your own celery salt. Now, we don't eat a lot of celery. We do it, I kind of try to have mirepoix in the house for like soup stock and soup starters, but I don't want to grow celery because it's too hot, it's too finicky, it has to stay moist, and I can't justify the garden space by growing celery. So celery root grows very well, and it's going to store really well for this coming winter, and that's what we want. Lots of storage, because you know what, we don't have cellars here. We don't have really the cold storage that a lot of places have. Ooh, this is a nice one. Oh yeah, that looks good. And it's so dry, guys. It just rained. And it's so dry. It's not even really penetrating. All right, so it's not penetrating the earth. So I'm gonna have to get out here and water. Probably I'll come out later when the sun sets. Let's see. Oop, I got one over here. I didn't even notice because it's lost all of its leaves. You know what? And it's squishy. So that is compost for the bed. Let's see. Let's pull it because, like I said, I need this bed to be ready for other things. Oh, this one's a tough one. So one thing you need as a gardener, a sharp knife or a trowel with you at all times. Good Lord. That was I don't know how edible this is. It's like all top, but no root. I mean, I guess but all right, over that, moving right along. So my next harvest, which I have a lot of random things out here, guys, but a lot of these are veggies that can stand. And guess what I got up under here? Oops. Let's see. Oh, these are nice sized. You know what? I'm snatching the whole thing up out of here. Ta-da! That's one. It's nice. I've got some smaller ones over here. All right, into our basket. Let's go ahead and pull these up out of here. I wish the sad and dry. It's just so hot that, I mean, we may get a little, but it's not enough really for a meal. Maybe throw them in some salad, but see those? Got a lot of those. Go into our basket. All right, that's it for those guys. I think in this bed, I'm going to be planting maybe some more tomatoes. Okay, that's what I wanted to show you guys. besides the pests, do you see these nasty... Let's see. Let me pull them off of here. Do you see these, what? I don't know. I've never seen a bug like this in my garden. This is the first year. And I kind of want to believe it's some kind of stink bug. Am I supposed to show this on YouTube? It looks like they're getting busy. I don't know. Is this considered sensitive material? Excuse me. I know this is private, but they're pests. And they have been sucking the life out of my brassicas. But I guess I can Google it. But just wondering if anybody else has seen these guys before. Again, my first year seeing this type of pest. It's always something, guys. It's always something. All right. Ugh. So what else has the drought been doing? Look at the Brussels sprouts that I had. I think I showed you guys, what, a couple of weeks ago, that they were kind of full. Now they're dried. And the dirt, everything is just so powdery. It is just completely and utterly. My cucumbers are looking sad. They're still producing, which, you know what? Hold on. I bet you there's a cucumber up under here. Voila. Now, ants. Also, it looks like a worm. A worm got to this cucumber before I could. So that's another thing that we're dealing with. We're dealing with worms right now. I think they're army worms. And yeah, if you get a chance to spray, hopefully you'll get something before the worms get to it. Now, I'm not squeamish. If I know where the worm has entered, I will take this cucumber or any other kind of vegetable into my home, and I will put them in a bowl of water. And what's going to happen is that worm's going to drown and just pop out. And then you just cut away the bad part. That's the sustainable way. That is the no waste way. There are some people who wouldn't fathom the idea of throwing away an entire vegetable because of, you know, one little wormhole. Especially people who are hungry and people that know every single vegetable is a meal. So we can afford a lot of times to waste in this country. But our roots as farmers, now we're like, ew, that's gross. And you would throw that in the garbage because it's so contaminated by a worm. Worms are supposed to be in the garden. They're part of the ecosystem. So that happens when you garden. You get worms. And it's not the end of the world. You just keep it moving. You guys, look at all my tomatoes. This is that yellow hybrid Chef's Choice. There's so many in here. Look at all of those. I have them all over the ground. And I really need to prune this plant because it's starting to fall over. And I want to make sure all of these ripen before frost happens in November, which, you know what, that may not even be an issue considering how hot it is. But I've got them all on the ground. But that... Like there's just 10, I think, in that one little cluster. Alright, so as you can see, I have a lot of Independence tomatoes that I need to harvest. The birds have been kind of getting to them. That's okay. We have enough to share, actually. I'm only stingy at the beginning of the season when I don't know if I'm going to have to feed out. So here we have lots of tomatoes. So these are kind of salad size, and I'm not always so impressed with these. I've got way too many, so I think I'm gonna just I'm gonna go straight in the can. Okay, let's see. These are Determinant Independence tomatoes. Now, I thought they were going to be bigger, honestly. Because they were early, I thought they would be, I don't know, at least 3 inches across. But they just kind of turned out to be a bunch of salad tomatoes, which, ugh. All right, some of these are squishy and gross, which I'm going to have to come out and probably I'm going to be cutting down these, and I'm going to be planting some bobcat tomatoes. I don't know if you've heard about bobcat tomatoes. I have never grown them. I picked that information up from another YouTuber. I think it may have been the Millennial Gardener or some other kind of gardener. But they're going to be my fall harvest. I think they ripen in about 50 days or so. So it's an early. Hopefully it won't be like these. And I'm just going to end up with a bunch of salad-sized tomatoes. You guys, I planted some cherry tomatoes like my first year. This property. And I can't get rid of them. They're invasive. They are everywhere. They in almost in the compost. They've popped up in just random places. Okay, I don't know what happened, but it's my connection. I know that happens every now and then. All right, so again, these tomatoes. Now, when I don't have a lot of experience growing indeterminates, I pretty much grow. I don't have a lot of experience growing determinants. I pretty much grow indeterminates. And I thought that the determinants would just push out a whole bunch of tomatoes and that would be it. Keep producing. So I don't get it. Is there really any difference between a determinant and indeterminate? Because so far, they seem to be producing in the same kind of pattern. You know, they push out a lot of tomatoes and then they rest. And then you can fertilize them and prune them. And then the next thing you know, you just still keep producing more tomatoes. This is my sad and sorry collard green. Very well. And weird there. Half of these I planted over here. These are Korean sweet potatoes. The ones on this side of the bed are the blue Okinawa sweet potatoes that I planted 1 year, and they keep coming up. FYI. They're invasive. So luckily they're only coming up in this one bed. So if you just want a continuous crop of blue sweet potatoes, then go ahead and plant those, and this is what you'll get. And they are very prolific. Alright, let's see. I see a couple of orange tomatoes. Look at these. These are they're F1s, and they're big beef tomatoes. Look how pretty they are. Oh my goodness. They're all uniform. They all look like this. Very little cracking, and I believe this cracking has just happened because of our extreme heat. So what I'm getting ready to do, after digging around in here and finding the ones that are starting to turn, let's go into it. I am going to cover these. I don't really prune tomatoes. I got over that. So much better, just wild. And it's like, just spray them if you don't want disease, or prune them up. But I've been spraying mine, and I have disease-resistant varieties, so I don't worry about it. Heirlooms are a different story. You have to spray them, because they will just die on you in a minute. But I still love the flavor of heirlooms, so I still plant some. This is Amish paste. Okay, I don't know if you guys saw those, but there's lantern bugs out here too, and they're just these weird, leggy, disgusting brown flying thingies. And they just, I don't know what they do. I guess they just eat your tomatoes. They're I see them hanging out on my tomatoes and I spray or shoo them, but I don't know how much that works because I keep seeing them. Ugh. There's one right there. He's actually posing for the camera. I don't know if you can see it, but anyway, ugh, can't stand him. So, my Amish paste, they've been giving me tomatoes here and there. So what I think I'm going to do with these, it looks like they're producing a little bit late. I think in one of my videos I said I wasn't going to grow them anymore, but I was going to replace them with mushroom basket, which is an heirloom. I think I'm going to lop these off. See how tall they are? I'm going to lop these off at the top and then let whatever below this level, I'm just going to go ahead and just let them ripen up and then call it a day. And I may just, depending on how many tomatoes are in here, which does not look like a lot, I may just pull them, because why take up space that I could be using for something that's actually producing. Let's see. So over here, see, they're everywhere. You see them? They're just everywhere. Ugh. I know a gardener who, I've said it before, yes, I don't like bugs. Only the ones that are good to me. Alright, I think that's it. There's a couple on here. I may have to go wading into this mess of tomatoes, but I have a lot of tomatoes well into fall. So, but some of these, yeah, I'm just going to be like cutting them off because you need time for them to ripen and you want them to grow big. So at this point, a lot of these tomatoes, because we're entering into fall, they're still going to produce, but they may produce smaller tomatoes. And I've started to notice that with my plants that I've been harvesting from a while. So it could be you just need to up maybe your fertilizer. But, I mean, wouldn't you be tired? You're out here. I know I am. I'm out here in this heat. I'm getting rained on occasionally. There's bugs, you know. There's just all kinds of weather issues. And then I'm still producing. I'm still supposed to show up and perform. And that's what these plants are feeling. So sometimes if they look like they're struggling, just give them peace. Okay? Give them peace. Snatch them out. You know, sometimes if you prune them, they'll get happier, they'll get better. So far, this is a really good harvest. We've got these beautiful red peppers, and then we've got these cherries. Can't hide my disappointment. But you guys, let me just walk through real quick and show you. It is just, it's hot. It's hot, and you can see the stress. You see all the brown. There's brown grass. A lot of these plants, except for the okra. I'm going to show you something I'm embarrassed about, but not really. Do you see how I've let these... Now, mind you, you can't eat any of these. Once I cut off these large okra, the smaller ones will grow and they'll be edible. Any of these smaller ones, edible. The big ones, no. They're going to be so tough, not appetizing at all. So, it's just been so hot. And okra grow fast. I don't know, those of you who have never grown okra, it grows amazingly fast. Once it catches the hot weather, they love it. They're from Africa. So they love this heat. So they're happy. They're doing well. My sunflowers are all flopped out and brown. It's because it's so hot. So I'm going to have to hand water all of this. You guys have seen my overgrown weed patch. The strawberries, they're doing okay despite being out here in the heat. I'm going to have to lay down in that. They're doing well. Now my beans, I planted these, I think, at the beginning of spring. It was my succession planting, and only plants have made it. They're sad. Actually, no. Probably in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be planting more string beans, just because hopefully they'll be sprouting past the worst of this heat. And the ones that are still left over from there, I'm letting the pods dry on the vine so that this neighbor's dog is getting on my nerves. Okay, I'm going to let them dry so that I can get some seeds for next year. Apple tree, peach tree are all looking healthy. So, you guys, we just got to get through summer. Just got to get through summer. But this is kind of like the brutal summer of like Georgia. And you just have to learn what you can do when you can do it. And you may have to harvest frequently. If not, by the time the birds and the pests get to it, you will have lost a lot of your crop. Which, as you can see, I'm okay with losing a few of those little tomatoes. I just don't want them getting to the nice, big, delicious, juicy heirloom tomatoes. But thank you all for hanging with me. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm going to cover up the tomatoes because they do not like to be scorched by the sun. And I'm going to go hide inside till maybe this evening. Be well, be blessed, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.